Before we can begin this seriously, I got some tissues, and it's not even a joke. Honestly, if you're going to listen to Sufjan Stevens' new album, Carrie and Lowell, you really need to get some here. It's like that South Park episode where they write that book that's so horrible that they have to have buckets to puke into every time they read it. This album is so freaking sad. Seriously, keep some tissues near you for it. It's just terribly depressing. I could title this blog, The Album That Sufjan Stevens Made to Make Me Cry. Because it did. It made me cry, and I don't cry easy in things. Movies, nothing. Ever. This? Oh my god, yes. So just be warned. It's the saddest thing he's ever written. So, they're right here. Got them? Everyone ready? Let's dive in. My review will not make you cry, but you listen to the album, you're gonna feel something unless you're dead inside. So let's dive into Sufjan Stevens and some history on this famed songwriter. Sufjan Stevens is actually from Detroit, Michigan. He was born there. He lived there till the age of 9 when his family moved to Petoskey in the northern part of the state. He was raised by his father, Rashid, and his stepmother, only occasionally visiting his mother, Carrie, in Oregon after she married her second husband, Lowell Brahms. We'll get to that, Carrie and Lowell. Brahms would later become the head of Stevens' record label, Asthmatic Kitty. He attended Petoskey High School at the prestigious Interlochen Academy Arts and graduated at Labor Heights Christian School. He went on to Hope College in Holland, Michigan, and earned a Master in Fine Arts in the School of New York City. Sufjan is his Arabic and Persian name, meaning comes with a sword. Its predecessor, Islam, is the most famously belonged to Abu Sufyan, figure of Islamic history. Huh. See? You learn something every day, because I didn't know that. Anyway, after that, Sufjan Stevens is a multi-instrumentalist known for use of his banjo. He also plays guitar, piano, drums, xylophone, and a million other instruments. He uses multi-track recording. While in school, he studied on the oboe and English horn, but he also plays on his albums. He did not learn to play the guitar until his time at Hope College. He began his musical career in Marzuki as a member of Marzuki, a folk rock band in Holland, Michigan, as well as a rock band called Cone Los Dudes. He also played and continues to play with Daniel Sidfamil. In his final semester of Hope College, he wrote and recorded a solo album called The Sun Game, which he released on Asthmatic Kitty Records. He later moved to New York, where he became a member of the writing program, the New School for Scholarly Research, Social Research. During his time there, he started to write what he thought was a short story to lead to a novel, ultimately leading back to another album. The second album is called Enjoy Your Rabbit, which was a song styled based off the Chinese Zodiac that kind of was an electronic record. Following that, he followed his first record, we released Part 50 States Project. First album was Part 50 States Project. It's collections of folk songs and instrumentals inspired by the state of Michigan. Of course, the result being the expansive Michigan includes odes to his cities of Detroit, Flint, and Upper Peninsula, vacation areas such as Ticking Falls, melded in the scenic descriptions of the characters of the faith, sorrow, love. His job in the children's book division of Time Warner until touring for Seven Swans. Next, he released the 50 States Project titled Illinois. Among the subjects in Illinois are covered Chicago, Decatur, Jacksonville, and World's Columbian Expose in 1983. So, yeah, in 2005, The Winter Holidays, an album with Rosie and Dennis Wall. 2006, Pitchfork Retraction, because that didn't happen. In 2006, in Nashville, Tennessee, he debuted a new composition, a 10-minute piece called Majesty Snowbird. It was part of a Songs for Christmas set that would come out soon after. Following that, he made unannounced appearances on a tour for his 2007 album. He did Take Away acoustic show, just a lot of different concerts. And yeah, he commissioned the Brooklyn Academy of Music and Film titled the BQE, described as a symphonic and cinematic, quite a bit later, I guess. From there, he went on to put out an EP, full album, the next age of he came out with Carrie and Lowell. It's hard to do history on a man whose history is so, though, maximalization year. It wasn't just possible. The album found him to be just confident. Sufjan was on top of the world. He had this tronic, just never done before, and it was impressive because it was so different. It was, I don't know, all the bells and whistles. Here, he strips that completely away to find a different Sufjan, like, completely different. Here he's depressed, emotional, and a grieving son. He's back to his folk roots on an album without all the bells and whistles of the Age of Odds. It's the most personal album he's ever written, so the lyrics are way more important than ever. Especially the music itself even is second to the lyrics. I was very young, and he only recently got to know her. She was in the hospital for the past couple of years, and right before she passed away, they forgave each other. Lowell is his stepfather that he became very close with. If it helps you understand, Lowell currently runs his record label, Asthmatic Kitty. If that says anything. Track and the song is about missing his mother after her death and finally being able to forgive her after years of unhappiness. The lyrics here are masterful in a whole new way. It takes the poetic nature of his emotion and just takes it up like he's been great. Should have known a song about the day his stepfather in a video store when he was about 3. And he's lamenting about whether he should have reached out to her all these years, tried to connect with her, contact her in any way. Brother's daughter. The song with his voice itself. All of You is a song about a failed love relationship where things just didn't work out even though he loved this person. It's driven by banjos and synths as well as his voice. And me, it's Drawn to the Blood. It's another one about a relationship. It could be the one he was talking about in the previous track, but you never know. This relationship for the violent. On his website after he's taken a lover and cancels his love, he pleads with God to find somebody just to love him. That's all he wants. He looks down and sees the blood on his sleeve from the attack. Seriously, dead. This track starts off with banjo and strings before synths help it to get to a floating conclusion. The next one is called Eugene. This song is about his stepfather Lowell, or Eugene. It's one of the few happy songs that's just not soul-crushing on here. Stepfather when he taught him to swim. Pronounce his first name and he would call him Subaru. This song is mostly vocals and banjo. Oh my god, then we get to the song that makes me cry every single time I hear it. I'm not even kidding. It's different when you listen to it without knowing what it's about. But then when you look at the lyrics and go, so sad. 4th of July is a conversation between him and his mother. It's hard to say whether this conversation actually ever happened or if he's just imagining it. I don't know. He doesn't tell. But it's mother on. Did you get enough love, my little dove? Why do you cry? I'm so sorry I left, but it was for the best, though it never felt right, my little Versailles. Some of the most powerful lyrics in the whole song. The whole song is like that. After that, the hospital asks him what he wants to do with the body after she's passed, and he comments about how strange it is for her to be wrapped in plastic. I mean, oh my god. The last thing that's said in the song is that we're all going to die. Sufjan. Just in the description it sounds super depressing, but the song itself is so beautiful with all that way he's so poetic about his words, and the message, it's just overpowering. It's unbelievable. I can't even say anymore. The only thing is the song about the only thing that keeps him from following through on his own suicidal thoughts, and that he doesn't drive at night anymore because he doesn't want to veer into the ditch on purpose. Whew. Heavy stuff again. Wondering why the wonders of life and the beauty of little things in life, passing, and just completely depressed. It's mostly driven by banjo. Halfway through it adds in some synth lines. Poetic yearning as he thinks back to the failed loving relationship between his mother and his stepdad. The song is carried completely by guitar and banjo in his voice. John, my beloved, is a failed relationship that he thought he loved this person, but he realized he was really in love with the past fossil, as he's not in love with her and only loves who she was. He ends the song by saying, in a manner of speaking, that he is now dead. The song is driven by simple strings in his voice. The song is some of the most beautiful lyrics I have ever heard. He's truly a uniquely gifted person. 10. No Shade in the Shadow of the Cross is an acoustic song where he finds himself lamenting in a bar over a past relationship and how heartbreak of it all sticks with you. And the final song of the album is called Blue Bucket of Gold. A blue bucket of for the secret treasure of these years of not being connected. That's what a blue bucket of gold is in the story. It's a closing song. It's driven by piano, organ, synths, and his voice. This song is just the absolute horrible grief following the passing of his mother and his attempt to reach out to friends, family, and faith to console him on the loss. He says that he hopes to find someone to be there for him like his mother never was as a kid. Oh my god. Wow. Depth on, seriously. This is understand how you could just pour it out there like that. I'm amazed that he did it. This one, it's just like soaking it in here. how dark and sad and deep this all is. This might be one of the most heartbreaking emotional albums I've ever heard. This album isn't a eulogy to his mother, but really it's just the absolute grief of it all, and he starts to think about his own. The album is broken up in 3 ways. It's stories of his youth, his stepfather and mother, and then his failed relationships and the current pain of it all. This is the first time, I don't know, I think he's ever gone into depth so much on his own story. As you've heard in my description of the history, he goes into depth on things like his Chinese Zodiac Electronica, or this 50 States project, or, stuff as does. Story is too important not to cover. I don't know. I'm glad he did. It's horribly heartbreaking and amazing at the same time, but I'm glad he covered it. It's a masterpiece. The lyrics on this are on par with the absolute greats, and I mean it. The absolute greats like Neil Young, Paul Simon, even Bob Dylan. You can call me, I don't know, a hypocrite, a harlot. You can call me a harlot, but it wouldn't fit. I don't even know. It's just that this really, to me, please give you a hug, man. Jesus. This is a 5 out of 5 star album. It is. Just nothing. I really don't want to recommend single songs because you need to hear the whole album, but if I have to say the best of it, But if you do check it out, like you should, just do it. Seriously, just do it.